The house stood on a quiet street. It was a very nice house with a red front door and yellow curtains in the windows. Inside the house lived a cat named Whiskers and a mouse named Squeaky. Now, most cats and mice do not get along very well, but Whiskers and Squeaky were the best of friends. They liked to play games together, especially hide and seek. One sunny afternoon, Whiskers was curled up on the sofa, taking a nap. Squeaky was playing with a spool of thread under the armchair. It was a very peaceful day. Suddenly, a delicious smell wafted in from the kitchen. It was the smell of cheese. Squeaky's nose twitched and he scampered out from under the armchair. Whiskers, awakened by the smell and the sound of tiny feet, stretched and stood up. Today, it seemed, was a day for a different game, a game of chase. The cheese, a lovely wedge of cheddar, sat on a plate on the kitchen counter. It wasn't just any cheese, it was Mrs. Hobbs' prize-winning cheddar, brought back from the farmer's market that very morning. Mrs. Hobbs, who owned the house and shared it with Whiskers and Squeaky, was very proud of her cheese. Squeaky, his small nose twitching with excitement, reached the cheese first. He climbed onto a chair and then leapt onto the counter. Whiskers, his tail twitching with anticipation, followed close behind. "My cheese!" Squeaky squeaked, grabbing the wedge in his tiny paws. "Not so fast!" Whiskers purred, his eyes gleaming with playful mischief. And so began the chase. Squeaky, clutching the cheese, dashed off the counter, with Whiskers hot on his tail. They raced through the kitchen, Squeaky dodging between pots and pans, Whiskers skidding on a stray pea. They zoomed into the living room, where Squeaky scurried under the sofa and out the other side. The cheese clutched tightly in his mouth. Whiskers, unable to stop in time, crashed into a side table, sending a vase of flowers flying. Water splashed everywhere. They scampered up the stairs, Squeaky's tiny paws pattering on the steps, Whiskers bounding after him. They raced down the hallway, Squeaky squeezing under a door, Whiskers pushing it open with a bang. The chase continued, through every room in the house and back again. They ran around and around the dining table, Squeaky's laughter echoing through the air. Whiskers, enjoying the chase as much as Squeaky, purred with amusement. Finally, Squeaky, out of breath but triumphant, reached his destination, his little hole in the wall hidden behind the grandfather clock. He squeezed through, the cheese safe and sound. Whiskers, his whiskers twitching, peered into the hole. "Well played, Squeaky," he purred. "Well played indeed, but tomorrow is another day and there will be more cheese to chase." And with that, Whiskers sauntered off, ready for a well-deserved nap.